नाचिकेत उपख्यानं मृत्युप्रोक्तं सनातनं उक्त्वा श्रुत्वा च मेधावी ब्रह्मलोके महीयते य इमं परमं गुह्यं श्रावयेत् ब्रह्म संसदि प्रयतः श्राद्धकाले वा तदा अनन्त्याय कल्पते तदा अनन्त्याय कल्पते इति. So coming to the Falashruti, what is the benefit of listening to this conversation between Yamadharmaraya, the deity of death, the lord of death, and Nachiketa, young seeker? So Yamadharmaraya, the lord of death, the deity of death, gives an assurance. What is the benefit of this? One who teaches this and one who listens to this. Listening means listening, understanding, contemplating and realizing. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. The essence of this teaching, that means one who is seeker and one who is teacher, both of them will attain Brahmaloka, the supreme abode after death. Brahmaloka is not enlightenment. Brahmaloka is the highest level loka which one can attain. So he is giving a benefit for the benefit of listening to this. See, this is the secret of death. The secret of death is there is no death. Okay? There is no death, there is no birth. That is the secret. You can go beyond birth and death. Until you realize the supreme principle in you, called Atma, there is a birth and death cycle. Until you realize that birthless and deathless in you, which is called Atma, there is a cycle of birth and death. Once you realize the birthless and deathless principle in you, called the self, the real self, you become free from cycle of birth and death. The cycle of birth and death is there until you identify with a apparent self called body and mind, while the real self is always free from birth and death. The solution for going beyond birth and death is the self-knowledge. To realize I am the birthless, deathless, immortal self-Atma. So this realization can happen only through the teaching of a master, contemplating on the teachings and realizing the truth. It's called Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. There's no greater teacher than Yamadharmaraya, who is embodiment of dharma, embodiment of righteousness. He governs the cycle of birth and death and karmic impressions. There is no greater teacher possible about the secret of death than Yamadharmaraya. And he himself assures us that if you listen to this, understand this, contemplate on this and realize what I have said in the Nachiketopakyana, you will attain the Brahmaloka, the supreme abode of Brahman, which is the highest possible loka or abode which anybody can attain. Okay? And one who teaches this for the people who are seeking, the seekers, he will attain immense good merit, punya. Okay? He can teach this to the people who are seeking or At the time of death, after 12 days after death, there is something called Shraddha. Death rituals are performed. So the people in the house are disturbed during that time. For them, if this teaching is there, that there is nothing called real death, birth and death, that's a transmigration, and transmigration of soul from one body, jiva from one body to other body, and finally the jiva can be free and attain the supreme abode of Brahman. So then the one who teaches this will get enormous amount of good punya. Thus Yamadharmaraya assures both the teacher and the student that this teaching what he has given so far is very sacred and very secretive. The sacred and secret teaching, one who realizes the truth, goes beyond cycle of birth and death. See, the death can come anytime for anybody. Death can come, there's no predetermined time. For everything else, there is a time, appointment. But death can come without appointment. Sometimes, very often, we live our life fully, age and die. So that means you have seen the up and down of life. There's a maturity which you have gone through. So the death can come after that. So then possibly there's less desire for experience of life. There are some people who commit suicide. There are some people may die because of accident and suicide, where this body is intact, but because of some accident or because of own act of suicide, they may drop the body. In which case, the life force in them has still unspent energy. It's called prarabdha karma. That unspent energy, because of the unspent energy, that life force will keep on seeking body, another body, and it can keep wandering. Okay. Either way, the death is unpredictable. So the wise one understand death and go beyond death. See, if this is almost saying, it is where diabetes and heart disease are very common disease in India, affecting many people. Okay. Once you hear about the disease, there are intelligent people who will control their diet, who will master their food habits, and who do exercise and prevent diabetes. The wise or intelligent people take action based on the knowledge and information available to them. So Yamadharmaraya is saying, the intelligent ones, the intelligent people understand what I am saying, okay, and go beyond birth and death cycle by realizing the truth which I have told, realizing the deathless and birthless essence in you called Atma, the self. Okay, you are not the body, mind, intellect. That body, mind, intellect is the apparent self. The real self is Atma. So once you realize that, you will become free from cycle of birth and death. You attain the immortality, or you recognize the immortality. It's not that you will attain it. You are already immortal. You will recognize that. And there's no greater assurance than the assurance given by Yamadharmaraya, Lord of Death himself.